Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and today we are looking at the Itto-Ryu hammered white number 2, Shirogami number 2, Santoku 165 millimeter knife. This line of knives has a core steel of Shirogami or white paper number 2 reactive carbon steel. The heat treat's approximately 61 Rockwell on that core steel. And the construction is a hammered iron cladding. Tsushime is their name for the hammered finish over the top of that white number 2, so it's a 3-layer sandwich. And the cladding also has a light kurouchi or blacksmith finish over it. It's quite smooth. The weight on the knife is about 5 ounces, 143 grams, and the blade length is a little over 165. These will vary a little bit knife to knife because they're handmade. The overall length, just under 12 inches. And the spine thickness right here above the chin or back of the heel is about a little over 4 millimeters. But these have a continuous distal taper all the way down as you get towards a pretty darn thin tip with a generous grind. And this tip is very high performance. The blade height is a generous 49 millimeter. So you've got loads of clearance for the cutting board. Balance point on this knife, we'll get to the handle in a second here as long as I'm at it, is right about there, which for me is almost just perfectly on a pinch grip, very neutral balance point to the knife. Not blade heavy, not handle heavy if you use a pinch grip. The handle type is their basic, no frills, oval, ambidextrous. They call it chestnut, but it's a dyed wood, and it's got some pretty good texture to it for grip, and it's got a basic plastic or resin ferrule, nothing fancy. The handles do actually feel pretty good in use, even though they're not expensive or anything or elegant, but quite serviceable nonetheless. The handle circumference is about 3 inches right here, so pretty standard height, or I should say size on the handle. I will say the fit and finish on these things is just way above their pay grade, and I'm going to say this on every knife in this line. I am extremely impressed with this line of knives. They are very well crafted, very well made. Lots of attention to detail. They've got a fit and finish when you pull them out of the box and just start feeling the back of the knife, the choil area and the emulto area and the neck there and the spine. They're just nicely finished and just real nice grinds when you sight down the blade. Just really nice out of the box. Really well done. Tsushime or hammered finish. The grinds are great on these. They are thin at the edge, but not crazy thin, but yet they flow through product unbelievably well. These things, as I said, are just way above their pay grade as far as performance, I think looks, and also just quality. Let's take a close look at it. I'm going to end up probably keeping a couple of knives from this line. They're that impressive in putting new handles on them. So here's some hand chisel kanji. Here's a close-up of the finish. You get nice food release with these. They've got a kind of a mid-high grind to them. And I said it just flows through product unbelievably well, especially soft product. And the tip just blows through things like onions. I am highly impressed with the performance of these knives, and they are just great on the fit and finish. So let's take a look. Out of the box edge, I'm going to say is probably about a 3 to 4. These vary, but you'll need to really sharpen them up. Once you sharpen them up, you can get the full performance advantage. But here's the profile. Relatively flat, not a ton of belly. A little bit of just a touch of flat area at the heel. Most Santokus really don't have much of a true flat spot because they're so short and rather tall. This one's no exception. But let's take a look on our cutting board. So you flow into just a touch of a flat at the heel. Got a slight back belly towards the very back of the heel, the chin of the knife, and just kind of a gentle, kind of a low belly towards the tip. So you're not going to get a huge rock. I'm starting to dig the tip in about right there, but that's typical of most Santokus. Excuse me. Most Santokus. So you can do low rocking with this and also just a little bit of chopping, push cutting. I'd say general purpose profile for a Santoku. So there's what it looks like on the board. It really does. They do a nice job on the grinds and also the profile on these. No dips, no valleys, no high spots, bumps. So just they pay attention to detail on these. As I said, it's quite a bit above the cost. So these things are just a ridiculous amount of performance for the price. So I would say get them while you can, because these are going to get hot, because they're just awesome, and it's a great buy. So there you have the Itto-Ryu hammered Shirogami, our white paper number 2 Santoku 165 millimeter knife.